Okay, so this is the next video in the continuation of the fast API series, and we are looking to the security topic. And so till now, like, we have covered 21 videos, and the last video, like, we see what is the difference between authentication and authorization, and what are the different types of authentication and authorization schemes, and how to implement that, what is the basically end-to-end flow. And we like implemented a very few steps of our flow. So basically, like, this is our flow. The user will enter the email and the password. The data in the database, first the user will be checked, then the password will be checked. So if both the things will get verified, then the token will be get created. And token is basically a random string which holds this data information. Okay, so what we like so we are like we have to create a token. We have to set up this authentication process. So we start from this point, and in the last video we covered this point. Now we will cover this third box and the fourth box. Okay, so this is very easy video. So let me activate the environment. Okay, so let me go to the routers. So first let me show you like what is our like current situation. UVCon main app -- reload. So let me close this localhost. So in the last video, like we use the OAuth2 password bearer, and using that, like, we created this particular form, right? And now we can like enter the username and the password, but we have not set up anything, because even like we are entering the correct username, and when we say authorize, so it says that not found, because and also like we put like this lock, so that the without authentication, like user should not like create the item, you should not modify, you should not delete, user can just view the items. All right, so let me control C cd, let me clear the terminal, cd routers ls nano login.py. Yeah, so using the OAuth2 password bearer, like we created this form, right? And we created the object of this, and we say that like when we like enter the username and the password, it will like do something. But so we tell, okay, it will do like this operation, like login/token, right? /login/token, let's suppose. So we told that it should like perform this, but we have not defined this path. So let's define the /login/token path. Okay, so to define the path, how to define the path? Using the mini fast API. So from fast API import API router. Okay, we have to define the router, and it could be API router, and @router dot post. So it is basically a post request. We are sending the data, username and the password, and then we are like we click on the authorize button. So basically we are sending the data. So it could be the post request, and what could be the path? So /login /login/token, and let's give the tags as well. So login. Okay, now what so this is the path. Okay, it will come to this path when we click on the authorize button, it will come into this part. But what function it will run? So the function should be, it will verify and it will create a token. So let's do that, like retrieve token after authentication. So retrieve token after authentication. Okay, so we have to implement a few things. So what input it will take, so it so where is, so we have implement, like we are passing this form data, right? So what things it will like take an input, it will take the form data as an input, right? And it is of which type? It is basically we are using the OAuth password bearer. So this is OAuth 2 password request form. So this is OAuth 2 password request form. So we have used that, so we have to import that as well. OAuth 2 password request form. Okay, so this is clear. So it will like it will accept the username and the password. So let's try to print the username and the password. Form data dot username, print form data dot password. Okay, so UVCon main app hyphen reload. So something is wrong, missing one positional argument path. What is the missing positional argument path? Let me check. If I open any other thing, and no, Control X, nano users.py file, what is missing? We are mentioning at the router.pose user tags. What is missing? Everything is okay. Slash user, what is missing? API router, and if I do items dot py, yeah, that is fine. So if we do login.py file, okay, so I have forgot to I forgot to define the this bracket as well. Okay, so let's restart the app. UVCon main app hyphen reload. Okay, invalid argument for response field. Hint, check that the class FastAPI OAuth 2 password request form. So did I put something wrong? Let me open into some another tab. CD routers, ls nano login, OAuth 2 password request form, password form request, password, I think it is correct only. Okay, so it is a password request form, and is it now fine? Depends. Okay, so basically like we have mentioned like because we are using the Pydantic models, so we have to define, okay, form data is of which type. So form data is basically of OAuth 2 password request form, and we have to like import the particular module as well. But like we say that like form data is this, but it is of which type, so it is basically depend upon that form. So that's why we have mentioned equal to depends, and within that depends we have not mentioned any function. So it is depend or like form data is basically depend on that form itself. So that's why like we say that. So now when we started the our like our app application, so it says that like the Python multipart is missing. So we have to install the Python multipart, Why we have to install the Python multipart? Because we are accepting the form data, right? So we are accepting the form data, so it is a like a multipart. So let me show you even in the multipart, Python multipart. So somewhere it is mentioned in the document itself, but I forget where it is mentioned. But because it is a form data, so we have to like install the Python multipart. So let's update our, even like if we don't know, even like it give the error and it says that like this needs to be like installed. So let's update our requirement.txt file with the Python multipart. Okay, so let install that pip3 install -r requirement.txt. Okay, so it will try to install that. So why it code failed while building wheel for collected package Python multipart. The author of the package has not provided the project description. Pip install Python multipart is only the command. Then what is the issue? Does it because of Python version? Project link homepage. Pip install -r requirement.txt. Dependency on pytest cov pytest timeout mock pyml commands timeout. It looks okay. Let me try to reinstall that. Yeah, now it is fine. I'm not sure what was the issue. Anyhow, so we have installed that Python multipart. So now let's try to restart the app. So application has been restarted. So if I do refresh, so it will like still get failed. Why it will fail, I will like tell you. So if I do authorization example @example.com example, if I do authorize, still it says like not found, but still it says /login/token like it unable to find. So why this was the case? Nano, why this was the case when we have already defined /login/token? Because we have not included this path into our main file, so we have to include this path into our main file as well. So control X, nano main.py file. So here we have to include app.include router login.router, and we have to import the login as well. Alright, so now as application is already started, so if I now do refresh, so now you could see the login route as well here, right? And if I do authorization now, example @example.com example. So if I know if I did authorization, now it is successful. So like it did not like give me the error like this /login/token doesn't exist, because we have defined earlier it was like giving the error like 404 not found. and when I print that, so it is fetching the data, like it is fetching the username and it is fetching the password as well, right? Because in our code, like so where is our code? So cd routers nano login dot, because in our code we are printing the, because we are accepting the form data. So what is the form data? So form data is basically, let me log out. So form data is basically like this information, username and the password. So we are accepting the form data, and form data is of type, so this is the OAuth2 password bearer. So the form is OAuth2 password request form, and it depends upon like itself. So that's why it is equal to depends. So we are like accepting the data, right? So this is fine. So till this point, user has entered the data and we are accepting the data. Now we have to go to the database to check whether the user exists or not. So to check into the database, so we need the db session as well. So db session, and db session depends upon the get db function. So we have to import that these things from sql alchemy.orm import session, because we use the session pydantic model, and from database import getDB, because we use the getDB, and yeah, rest everything okay. Now we have to like check whether the particular user which is being entered, where is the user? So the user which is being entered, whether it exists or not, because right now whatever I have entered, so it will log in, but this is wrong, right? Because we are just like accepting the data, we are not like validating whether this is like whether the user exists or not. So now the next part is we have to verify whether the user exists or not, right? So how to verify it? Using the like session, we have to query, and which table we have to query? We have to query user table. So user is our table. So if I show you our models files, so user is our table, and email and the password these are the fields, right? So I have to first import the user table, because here I use user, so I have to import the user table. So where is the user table? From models import user, fine. So db.query user, and then I have to filter user dot email equal to form data dot username dot first, right? So I am checking like the table in the table email column, whether there is any row which has like this email which we are like passing. So one thing we have to notice here, in the form data, so this is a username, so this is like a inbuilt form, so we can't change this username, but actually we are here accepting the email. So don't get confused, because username is our like one field itself. So no, there is no username. So basically don't confuse with the username with any name, but basically username is just a form field rather than the email. Here it is written username only. So that's why like we are using form data dot username, but actually we have to check the email, because in the username field we are passing the email. It is just a name, but actually we are passing the email. So it will get the username. So let's store the user. So let's suppose if it unable to find, so if not user, if it is unable to find, then we have to raise the HTTP exception. HTTP exception. So first we have to import the HTTP exception. HTTP exception, and we have to set the status code. Status code is equal to status dot HTTP 401 unauthorized. Okay, so unauthorized. So we have to import the status as well, because here we use the status dot unauthorized. Okay, so let's define some detail as well. So detail is equal to invalid username because user doesn't exist. Fine. Let's suppose user exists. Now we have to, we have checked the user things. So third box is completed. So this box is completed. First we like fetch the data from the database and we get the user. So if no data exists, then it will say invalid username, right? The next box is we have to verify the password. So verify password, like we have already like created in the hashing.py file. So when we are storing the password, we are storing the hashed password using the get hash password, and at the same time we created one more method, verify password, and it took two password. One is the plain password and one is the like the password which is like exist into the database. So let me check. So this is the password column, right? So what we have to do, if not, right, so hasher, so let me show you hashing. So we have to import this class hasher. Once we get the hasher class, then we can easily call this verify method, right? So from hashing import hasher. So hasher dot verify password, because it is a verify password function, and it took plain password and the hash password. So what is the plain password? Plain password is in form of form data dot password. And what is the password is in the database. So we get the user. So what password like exists in the database, so we can easily get from the user dot password. And what password the user has been entering, we are accepting here, and we are matching the both the password. If both doesn't match, let's suppose both doesn't match, then we will raise an exception, http exception status code is equal to status dot http 401 unauthorized, and detail is equal to, this time it is invalid password. Fine. So we have implemented this thing in the last video, and these two things in this video. So let's save it, and let's so something is wrong. Okay, we put the semicolon. It should be, where we put the semicolon? Okay, it should be colon. Okay, so application has been started. So let me refresh it, and now if I enter any wrong username because it doesn't exist, so it now giving me some valid error, that is not authorized, because we are like saying that it should raise an HTTP exception 401 unauthorized. So let me like give a correct user ID and some dummy password and authorized. Again it will fail with the unauthorized, again it failed with the unauthorized, because if the user exists but password doesn't match, then it will fail. But if I give correct password, so this time I give the correct password, if I now authorized, now it will authorized, right? So now it will say like it did not give the error, because why it did not give the error, because like user exists and the password also match, so that's why it did not give the error. So if I close it, and now we can like log out it. Okay, so this part is completed, this part is completed, this part is completed, and this part is completed. In the next video we will see, so after this thing, so now we have authenticated the user. So if the user has been authenticated, we have to create a token. So in the next video we will see how to create a token. All right, so that's all for this video. Thank you very much.